It's Sunday, May 30th, 2021, and here's this week's balcony garden update. Here's the first tomato plant. We've had some unique weather this week where we went from one day, the temperature was around 30 Celsius, to one day where it was 2 degrees out and the wind chill of -2. Now, although short-lived, the cool temperatures, it's kind of crazy for this time of year to go that low, but well, anytime you think you can say you've seen it all, well, guess you haven't. So this cherry tomato plant, as you can see, is growing some cherry tomatoes and it's flowering quite nicely. And we will keep an eye on that one. Over here we have a cherry tomato plant that was grown from seed. As you can see, it's got some nice leaves on it. The other tree is in the background, so I'm going to try and turn the angle a little bit. And you can see the leaves on it. And you can see a bud there if we look. Let's see. So hopefully in the next week or two we should see at least one tomato on this plant, which is kind of exciting that grew from one cherry tomato seed. Now we're going to take a look at the plants over at my sister's place. Unfortunately, the success rate of the cherry tomato plants is lower there than I was hoping, but not uncommon when growing from seed. So let's take a look at what we have over there. So over here on this side we planted, remember, 3 tomato plants, and none of them really survived here. Now this one had, the leaves look kind of healthy on it, but look, it's kind of fallen over here, and it didn't hold up properly. This one doesn't look like it's going to make it. And over here, I planted a watermelon plant. I'm going to see what happens with that. Okay, so since this tomato plant did have healthy leaves on it and it's not completely dead yet, I gave it a little extra support. I'm going to give it another chance. It'll have some water and we'll see what happens. And over here I planted 5 pepper plants. These were red peppers and they were from seed. And you can see that they're pretty deep into the ground. That's how you want to plant these. And we'll keep an eye on them and see how the progress goes. Now over on this side we have this tomato plant here. Now look at the stem, it looks pretty healthy. It's got some nice leaves on it. And it's growing nicely. It just needs time, sunlight, and water. And hopefully we'll get tomatoes from that one. Now, unfortunately, the last one over here, which was the tallest one when it was planted, the stem is kind of skinny. It is healthy along the bottom. Has leaves on it. But unfortunately the top part of it has died, as you can see. So when the wind took a toll on this one, it basically snapped it at this point here where you can see. So I'm going to let the bottom part grow and see what happens, because the plant is very much alive. So here are some garlic plants that were planted in the ground. And the garlic grows better in the shade more than the sun. But you can see they're popping out of the ground here. Now, since we're on the topic of garlic, I think there's something that I left out from my previous videos I want to get into today a little bit. Let's talk about the growing of garlic. Now, in this kind of climate where we are here in Toronto, Canada, we would like to plant probably in mid-September, mid to late September, and we want to leave it underground over the winter, and usually you expect to have full bulbs of garlic come summertime. I think I forgot to mention that in the earlier videos. Anyhow, you can see that the green sprouts are coming out of the garlic, and you can leave those, or you can clip them off with like a scissors or something, and you could eat them. Kind of like treat it like chives. Why not? So you've got options there. Now it's the afternoon here, so you can see there's a little bit of sunlight on the garlic. But you know what? Garlic actually likes it more dark, so it only gets a little bit of sunlight here. Not too much. It'll grow in almost any conditions, so damp and dark seems to be fine for it. And here is this lemon plant again. Which, maybe it's grown a little bit more, maybe it hasn't. Can't really tell. Now, speaking of the garlic family, we've also got the onion family. Here we got a bunch of green onions growing, spring onions. And I've already picked one and eaten it, and it was delicious. And they don't take long, so an easy thing to grow. Here's one of the hot pepper plants that I added to the garden this year. So far it's just a bunch of leaves, but I'll give it some time and see if it progresses. And here's another pepper plant that I added this year, this Hungarian pepper plant. You can see I added a support for it because it's starting to grow a little bit. And if you take a close look here, you can see it's budding. I'm going to get a clear picture of the bud there in the center. So hopefully we'll get some peppers from this plant. There we go. There's another bud there. And there's the habanero plant. This is the one that started indoors during the winter. As you can see, it's got 4 peppers on it right now. And it is also budding, so hoping to get some more peppers off this one as well. Now if we go back to the red peppers, you can see there's a lot less of the little red pepper plants here now, because I planted 5 of them over at my sister's place. So we'll keep an eye on those ones in the ground, and we'll see what kind of progress we get from those. Over here we have last year's strawberry plant. This one survived the entire winter outdoors. And when we take a look at it, you got a bunch of healthy green leaves on it. If you take a look a little bit closer, can I get this here? Do you see that? That looks like a bud. If this actually grows strawberries, that will be very impressive. Now over here, we have this year's strawberry plant. Purchased a fresh plant because I didn't want to not have strawberries this year. Look at that. A couple of nice strawberries on there. That one looks like it's just about ready to be picked. The strawberry plants always seem to do well. Now can you imagine that? This is the last update for May 2021 already. Because next week's video will be June 2021. Once we're into June, the temperatures should be rather consistent and nice throughout the summer. It's nice that they got an early start on this year's balcony garden season. So we'll keep an eye on everything. We'll keep updating you on the progress. I still welcome everybody's questions and comments. And thanks for watching. See you next week.